Okay, so this one got spicy. We came ready to talk about Zoran Mamdani and whether being politically strategic makes you a sellout. Oh, and we may or may not have explored starting an OnlyFans. You know how it goes. Let's get into it.
To answer that, oh yeah, I don't want to answer that on here.
Yeah,
Um,
don't answer that. Oh, hey, I knew we were gonna talk about Zoran, so I came prepared. I know how to defend him.
okay, okay.
So yeah, I know you sent me a video and you're like, we're gonna need to talk about this next week, so let's talk about it. What's up?
Yeah, so I mean, everybody is right now, not everybody, but the rumblings online are basically, is he gonna pull an AOC, right? Because he's already starting to say things like, even before he won, right? He was saying like Israel has a right to exist as long as they don't exist as an apartheid state, da 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 da. And so proponents of like a free Palestine are like, that's incongruous. Like you cannot say Israel has a right to exist. First of all, as we talked about, states don't have a right to exist. People have a right to exist. So why is he even using that card? Um, and people are like, oh well, he has to say what he needs to say. Like, just be happy. And it's like, well, no. If we're gonna get another AOC, then it's not good. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about because I had feelings, but I really didn't land anywhere. What are
Mm.
your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I do agree with him. It's something that if we're gonna talk philosophically,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we shouldn't be having any states, period, anywhere in the whole world because we're just humans. And then if you're living here, you're living here, like, period. There's no, like, you come and take my place or whatnot. So, in that sense, yes. Unfortunately, if he's in politics,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're in politics, there's rules and laws that has been created throughout history, and we as humans we accepted that, which is states and countries and borders and laws and whatnot. So if we do, then when I'm in politics, what am I supposed to accept and not accept? If the whole international world has agreed that, okay, this land will be split into two, and this part will be Israel, and this part will be Palestine, then how do you go back and, like, let's talk realistically. You're like, we're not gonna be able to go back in time and undo all of that. The same thing how we can go back in time and undo us being here on this American land. Like, you just someone come and tell us like, yeah, all of you just get the fuck out. Like, we're just gonna undo all those 300 years. So in that sense, for me, I'm just talking like politically, and him being a politician, it makes sense what he's saying, which is, yes, you do have the right to exist by law, but then you exist within that law, and like that's it. And you have to abide by what the international law is saying, which is not what Israel is doing right now. And that's another conversation of like, no, I'm not gonna support this, I'm not gonna agree with this, I'm not gonna agree with that. Um, but that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
But Israel is an illegal occupier. Like they are not allowed to occupy under international law, especially the way that they're doing it. So if
in
that's the case,
in and outside of the borders that were agreed upon.
what
um
are you saying? What do you mean?
so when Israel was established as a country, it was established within certain borders, right?
Mm-hmm. So
And
you're saying
then
you want to go
it's
back to
been
whatever they had in 48?
exactly, and this is what the international law has agreed on, and like that's it. It's gonna be really hard. What are you saying? You're
I don't
saying
know.
remove it all?
Yeah, that would be my goal, first of all, because if we're going back to 47, 48, right? They expelled what, 700,000 Palestinians,
Mm-hmm.
500 villages,
Mm-hmm.
including our grandparents. So I don't think it's kind of like saying like, oh well, the murderer already murdered everybody, and for the house, he got 4 bedrooms out of the house. He's gonna keep those 4 bedrooms because he murdered everybody that day, and then all the rest of the neighborhood was like, yeah, sounds good. No, it doesn't fucking sound good. Get the murderer out And by that, I don't mean, actually, I do mean illegal settlers as well. They are illegal settlers, right? But I'm talking about the people who are there before the robbing and the pillaging and the raping. They can stay, their families can come. But I was watching a clip earlier today. It was
But
Mehdi.
you have generations of people that were born since then on that land. Where are they
I
supposed to go?
If your daddy's daddy robbed my daddy's daddy, you can go buy land legally, but you cannot keep what you stole. Like if they're like, you know what, you want to stay here, like whoever, like in terms of citizenship, like fine, they can have citizenship to Palestine, but like no, you don't get to keep my grandfather's land. Like no, but then the problem is going to be when you're talking about realistically, right? Like they burned all our paperwork, they burned all our history, they
Mm-hmm.
stole all our money.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's going to have to be a process of proving, other than the
Mm-hmm.
keys that our parents held on to, like what
Which
to
is
do.
what is that gonna prove?
Right. And again, if you're talking about like laws, I don't like that either because, first of all, when we talk about laws, some of them are just shitty, right? Like slavery was legal. And so some laws are just shitty. And then second of all, like that's the Mahdi Hassan, I forgot his last name, whatever. The clip that I was watching today, he was saying like it blows Joyanne Reed shared it. He was like, it blows my mind that they're invoking something from like a religious text thousands of years ago and saying because of that we get to come back home, but people who were kicked out 70 years ago have no right to return, and that is the law.
Mm-hmm.
So like I will never use the law as a basis for like how to go about things, but I definitely like hear what you're saying about like how practical is it to reverse the law and like do everything the right way. Like yeah, I see that, but like justice is going to be difficult, but doesn't mean we shouldn't go towards it. So like back to the Zoran thing, like I am weary if he's going to start like appeasing to or appealing to the colonizer, right? Like he has to say Israel has the right to exist. We know damn well he doesn't believe that. Like we know we know, we can tell where he's aligned, that he I'm not saying he doesn't believe that in a two-state solution or something. I'm just
Mm.
saying he damn well knows that Israel is an illegal apartheid state full of war criminals, right? And illegal settlers. Like you can
Yeah,
tell he knows that. But
yeah.
he's still going to say Israel has the right to exist because he has to win. And
But
so
like,
like what
no, 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 no. Sorry, sorry. As of today, the way Israel exists, it just exists. Like that's not even a question, right? Like it exists.
yeah.
All countries just admits that it is. Now we don't like that. And like it doesn't sound good because of the pains that our grandparents went through. I mean, my family lost buildings that they owned that they had to go and start from scratch, including my dad and whatnot. I would love nothing but more like here, Noel, here's your all of your inheritance, your land, and all of that that your parent like. I would love that, but realistically, here we are, almost 80 years after. You had generations that were born there of Israeli people that
Mhm.
where do I ship them? Where do I send them? So I'm just talking realistically. Israel has the right to exist as of today. Don't just go and kill everyone, but not exist with the way it's existing right now. Exist with maybe two-state solution. In my opinion, I would love nothing but actually one full open state. Everyone will be voting equally, which I know realistically that would not happen because we have more Palestinians living than Israeli right now within Israel, and that's their
No.
biggest fear is that they would not like a one state solution. Like, okay, this whole land is that this one land, call it whatever we're gonna call it, and then let's just vote, and people will be elected. They're not gonna like that because most of the Palestinians, they probably will win more because there's more Palestinians between the West Bank and Gaza than Jews who are living there. So I think that's the biggest part of the pushback, and I think they're probably gonna keep holding until like they get to a point where like there's more number of Jews on the land, you know what I mean, like or Israeli, and then like oh, if you want to consider one state solution, you're not gonna win because it's always gonna be yeah, but to target it on one side more than the other or something like that. That's my perfect scenario, but this is not the reality that we're in. What I would like is that all the illegal settlement that are happening, they should be stopped. They should be um, Israel should abide by the international laws, and there should be some compensation for all the pain and hurt. And I would like an apology first, admitting that what we did was effed up.
Yeah,
I know.
okay.
But what I'm
They're
saying,
not even acknowledging that
I
they bomb
agree, I
hospitals right
agree.
now.
But I'm just saying, like, in a perfect world, this is the only way I could see this situation moving forward is by, it's like anything damage that could happen in anybody's life. Like, first steps of forgiveness and moving on between any two individuals is the person who's been doing the abuse to, one, admit that they were doing it, apologize, and promise this is what I'm going to do moving forward to make sure that you feel safe. And that's
And
when the other
reparations.
party, yeah, but this is exactly it. And then this is where the second party would be like, okay, I guess let's see. Let's watch your words and actions for the next 10 years, 20 years, see how that is going. And I think this is the only way we're going to be able to move forward. But what we're doing is the same exact thing that Turkey has done for the Armenians, where they killed over 2, 3 million people of them, and still until today, Turkey does not admit that it was a genocide. Like Armenians has been all over the place. I mean, I grew up with a lot of Armenian friends in Lebanon, that they still every year they celebrate the genocide as a way to protest and say this happened. We will not forget our history, and they still
Yeah.
don't admit it. So going back to Zoran, that's why for me, politically, that makes sense. It like what is he supposed to say? Like, no, we're just gonna demolish Israel. It's not realistically possible. Like, what do you do with all the people? Because especially we have Palestinians who actually were absorbed within the 1948, and they are like now Israeli citizens that are living there. What am I shipping them out to? And you have Israeli that are not with the government and what they're doing there. They're literally where it just happened that they're born there and they're against the Netanyahu's, actions or that very far right side of the government. That we welcome them. Why don't they deserve to stay as well? Like they're just maybe good people that are just trying. I mean, I live in the US. Do I agree with most of the things that are happening in the US? I don't agree with. So for someone to come tell me, okay, well, ship Noel out, or I could be like, hey guys, well, I'm trying. I'm trying to vote different ways so that we can make the change happen. I know it's hard to wrap our head around, but I guess that's how I see it. I mean, you could have a very totally different opinion, but for
I
me,
mean, obviously,
as a
yeah.
politician, I think he's been handling it perfectly because he's not saying it's not a genocide. The AOC and all the others, they were for the longest time not even admitting what's happening. He's
Yeah.
very clearly admitting, he's very clearly supporting, he's very clearly, even within his debate, was not trying to actually make any party happier. He's just saying his truth. And if part of his truth is that he believes that we should have a two-state solution and Israel exists like it or not. I mean, it just
Hmm.
exists. And his goal is like, okay, what can we do to protect the Palestinians moving forward? That's kind of how I see it.
No, I hear what you're saying, especially with him saying, for today's facts, Israel has a right to exist because it exists, kind of thing. Um, but I totally and am on the side of people who are like, I'm gonna watch you with a magnifying glass, because we've gotten got before,
Hmm.
right? So whole like it's the same as we should be doing with any fucking politician, right? Like we're gonna hold you accountable to the words that you said, and if you become another AOC, that's just gonna be heartbreak. It's really gonna be heartbreak. But I'm with you, and I do think that even I know we say like, oh, it's shitty when we vote for like progressives except for Palestine, like Peps, and he's the one who that video you sent me talks about Peps and how he doesn't like that. Um, it what with all of his other policies, like he 100% is the best for New York, like for New York people.
Hmm.
So either way, I would want, we used to vote between who's gonna like which president is gonna kill less of our people. Like that's how we used to vote.
Mm,
Now we have someone who's like acknowledging Palestine and like speaking up against Israel and like trying to, like you said, walk in his beliefs. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not in the camp that's like fuck him for this. I don't like it. I'm more in the camp that's like I'm gonna watch you,
yeah,
and I hope you don't let me down.
yeah. I'm in the camp of I love this. This is the first time that I've been feeling hopeful about an actual politician running.
Mm.
I am gonna believe in him in my whole heart, and until I'm disappointed, then I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and until he disappoints. Otherwise, every single thing that he's been talking about, his support, the way he's been running his election, um, I'm just I just love it all. I
They
mean,
say that's
what
how you're
more would
supposed
I
to.
want? Yep.
They say that's how you're supposed to treat love, right? Like you might be afraid of heartbreak, you might like that might happen, but give it your all and know that you gave it your all. Like it feels better to love and to have lost. Like I can't believe I'm being that cliche, but like
No,
yeah,
that's
you're like
exactly what it is.
yeah, you're like I like hoping. I'm still gonna hope and I'm still gonna believe in somebody until he lets
Yep.
me down, and then I'll look for someone else to believe in. Like that's super optimistic for Noelle's like normal ennui, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Be
that's
well, I've been hopeless for the last like 2 years. I
yeah.
had nothing to just grab on, and this is the first time in 2 years that I'm like, what is going on here? Like, yes, like this is someone who has proven what I've been thinking could be possible.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it and he's
Mm-hmm.
acting upon it. And yes, he's doing it in a small area, which is like within New York. It's still a huge city, huge representation. But I am going to take that win and use that win as an example for everyone else to see that it is possible. You don't have to please Israel government or people who are funding you so that you can make it within, you know? So I don't know. I'm just I'm just loving it. I'm here for it. I can't wait for him to
No, I'm
win
with you.
in November.
Inshallah, yeah. No, 100%. And like I also think like in terms of the hope story, it's important to point out that like, Cuomo's people spent $28 million plus on that campaign. They broke a record for a
Hmm.
mayoral like primary, and he spent less than 2 million, right? And
Hmm.
at one point he put out an ad that was like, "Don't give me any more money. Get on the streets. I want you to
Hmm.
volunteer. I want you to phone bank." And I saw so many memes that were like, these people were canvassing door to door and happened to knock on people who were actively phone banking for him. And so it was like,
Wow.
yeah. And so like I saw so many different versions of that. And so like the community actually came together in ways that I haven't really seen before. And they
Hmm.
beat, like I said, 2 million to $28 million plus. And he like won this part
Yep.
of it.
Yep.
So
Isn't
like
that
it's showing
amazing?
people, yeah, it's showing people power for real. So at the very
He
least, like there's a lot to look at and be joyful about.
and didn't he go from like 3 people in the office to 50,000 volunteers?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, I think I saw it
Wow.
somewhere where he posted he's like he had to like manage 50,000 volunteers basically under the campaign, but people were just like left and right volunteering to just like go. Everybody like he is giving hope. Literally, I'm like I see his like comments like in on his videos, and
Yeah.
people are like, "That's my mayor. I'm not even from New York." Like people from all over, like any state, they're like, "This is what I need." But who would have thought in 2025 you would have all this diversity in one person and people would be like standing behind him? I don't want to be that one person who's going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to, add to the punch because he's already getting a lot. Like, I'm already seeing a lot since his one. People were making comments. I don't know if you saw that, but they were like, oh, like, I think it was like Donald Trump's son or something. He tweeted, like, oh, New Yorkers must have forgot what it felt like uh, in 9/11 to like to elect him. Like,
Oh,
what are you trying to say?
I guess they also forgot the Israelis dancing on rooftops right after it happened.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Um, But you know what I mean? Like a lot of people are like going after him, try like I think people are freaking out to see someone like him who's in my belief that he ran it so honestly and he got to where he's at right now in one of the biggest cities in the US. Like this is a big deal. Like it's not a mayor of like whatever small city in some town. Like it's freaking New York.
100%.
So so it is a big deal, and it's just gonna set a bar for everyone else that is not seeing it too. And to be honest with you, I even see comments from like even our Middle Eastern community. They're making comments about him. I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments that are like bashing him for supporting like the trans community or like the LGBT community here. You're a Muslim, how dare you? It's like the dude is running for, he literally said, I am running for a state and I'm not running for a religion. So by the law of that state, I am supposed to be protecting everybody's right to exist with whatever their beliefs and background. So like everybody's like from overseas having an opinion about how someone needs to be running New York City. You know, it just feels weird, and I just hate that we're at a place where like everybody's just like bashing at him. Um, Unnecessary. Like the dude hasn't done anything yet to,
Mm.
to get all that hate. Like let's just support him. Let's just not, start poking at someone who's just trying. But anyway, that's the last thing I have to say on that. So the other thing that we said we were gonna do on this episode is start to I don't know if we call it like a new segment or whatnot, but it's more of um we judge, but well, no, not we judge. What is it? We listen, but we don't judge. That
We
thing that
listen,
people
but
are
we don't
doing on it.
judge.
Yes, yes. So we're like, okay, that's actually a cool idea, but like, how do we implement that somewhere here? And then we're thinking about like, okay, maybe each episode we come in with like a question for the other person,
Mhm.
and it could be a fact, it could be just a story, it could be whatever, but it's just kind of something playful. See how it's going. Do you want to start?
No.
What, you don't have something?
No, I was gonna ask you the same conversation that we had, but I was gonna try to act
Oh,
like it was a brand new question. But
okay,
we would
okay.
have, I could cut out this part and it could just be like not introduced as a segment, and it could be like we're actively planning, so this might also
I
just be an episode.
That's okay. I don't think we should cut it off. I think we should just go straight to it. So you sent me a video of this girl who had like this weirdest voicemail that she recorded where it was just like I don't know what it was, like screaming and like as if like there's like some ghost that took over the phone or something like that. And then you were like, I aspire or like you said you're like I'm envy that I wish I could be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to my therapist too and said that. I told her about the same exact thing because she was so free, and so the voicemail, she starts off normal and then she's like there's a like gremlin troll protecting, and she just like made this whole scenario and turned into a witch troll thing, and it was just so funny and weird that her psychiatrist told her she needs to see a therapist because her
Yeah.
psychiatrist had a different sense of humor than her, I guess. But all the comments are like, "That's funny as hell," and I feel like I'm that goofy, but like I keep that goofy side of me for like close friends or like that pretty much it. Or the worst of my goofy, like troll level goofy, is nobody sees it. And it's
Yep.
like, but why? I think it's fun, and I want to be like her. And also, her page was like not one concern on it, and that's where I was thinking like, well, yeah, like she's a white girl, I think in America, and kind of gets to like not care if she doesn't want to. Like I'm not saying all white
Mm.
people don't care, but I'm saying she has privilege, right? Whereas like I feel like this innate sense of duty that like if I'm not talking about the important subjects in the world and the suffering of my people, then I have become a sellout. And that's why I said I envy her, because I'm like, damn, I just want that level of no fucks. Like I just want to be free and stupid and silly. And in a sense, I used to be that way. Um, by but I think after October 7th, it just became like really glaring that that was too selfish. But I loved her so much.
I do think now that you were speaking about it, I'm wondering if the reason why we are hesitant, and it's not because like she's just white girl or whatnot. I think it's more of cultural for us. One, our countries are so much smaller than, compared to the US.
Mm,
So culturally, at least for me, growing up in Lebanon, I had to act in a certain way that society wanted or say the things that the society wanted because it's such a small country and everybody knows, like everyone knows everyone, and that could actually hinder me getting a job or go somewhere or be promoted if in someone else's eyes this is stupid. I should be dressing a certain way or acting a certain way or singing only certain things. In the US, it's such a huge country that literally you could kill someone in Florida today and move to California next week and no one knows you and you can
mm,
like start over.
mm,
That would not have ever happened in our countries. So I think our parents and our culture, maybe because of all of this going on and how like it's all about society and everyone knows everyone, we were taught to fear to be different, so we just blend in and just abide by what society has taught us to do, which is, the aib. The word aib is like everything. What is aib? What is aib? I need to understand. What is that word? If you think about it, it's literally just it means nothing. It means nothing.
yeah, it's like it brings shame from
Just
who
shame
to who?
for
Why?
all created. We just created it for us by us to just keep us in control of like not doing what we are told we should do.
In control of nothing. Like in
For
control.
no reason. Yes.
Yeah, and
And
like at
that
the end
is,
of the day, you
yeah.
cannot control what people are gonna say about you or think about you anyway. So it's like
Yep.
you're doing all this work so they don't talk about you, but they're still gonna talk about you.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Exactly. But I think that's what brought us to when you asked me, you're like, what would you do? Or something like that. I was like, actually, I think I would like to be like a sex worker. And
Hmm.
then we were just like, wait, hold on, why? And like we were just like analyzing it. And I'm like, I mean, personally, one, I do see, I know not everyone would agree. That's okay. But in my opinion, I see sex work just like any other work. People have the right, if they're not practicing a specific religion or whatnot, for them, that's not wrong. For other religion, having sex outside of marriage is wrong. So how is that? And then there's still people who are religion and still have sex outside of marriage. Like, how is that any different? So the fact that that person is just doing it as a job, and as long as there's like no harm to that individual or harming someone else, then why not? And with that said, for me, I was like, wow, not to do it as a, like for me, it's not like the pleasure of like, oh, sex is fun. It's more so, oh my God, there's like so much money in that business. Like for me, it's more of a business plan. I was like, why not have an OnlyFans? I
Hmm.
mean, obviously, there's a lot of shame in our culture and whatnot that like you would not go and do it, but just thinking it out loud, like I wish I was um more free to be able to be like, yeah, actually, that's a good plan. I'm just gonna go for it. And like, I don't have to think through everything else.
So if you were to jump into that plan, like it sounds like you said you would start at like OnlyFans. Like where would you start? Where does it go? Like, how far down the sex worker train are you going?
I think I would be only going, like, I would probably just do like OnlyFans for like first. I mean, first you think about it, like, I was gonna say, like, oh, maybe for extra money. But then now think about it. Some people, like, they're doing it full job and they're making 700,000 a year.
Yeah,
And I
easy.
saw statistics, the newer generation, like kids, well, I call them kids, but like people age 18 to 25, 50% of those people are on OnlyFans. The people who are providing OnlyFans are 50% of age 18 to 25. This new generation that is just like now out there.
Wow.
Yep. And 60% of the consumption of people who are prescribed to OnlyFans to um, um, consume that material is men aged between 60 and 75, and 70% of them are married. Yes. I need to find that article and send it
I
to you.
love men so much. Men
Yep.
never cease to amaze me.
And I bet you those are the exact men who are, for example, here in Florida, put bans on like no porn or no condoms or
Oh,
no whatever. Yep. They're the
yeah,
same ones who are
100%.
consuming it.
I
Yep.
would co-sign that conspiracy for sure, or theory, not conspiracy. And I think that's like that makes me a little upset because I know damn well then I am still prime for the 70-year-olds. I could make some good money just like saying hi. I think that's the thing. Like I would also agree with you. Like I want to make money, kind of, and that's the thing that I was telling you that is like I have never heard a better point be made for me about sex working till Mia Khalifa was like, it's the same thing as signing up for the army, and the co-host of the podcast was like, what the fuck are you comparing like service to that? And she was like, well, if I could like get paid to be in the army and sell my body that way for to sell, if I can sell myself as a weapon, why can't I sell myself as a sex tool? Basically, she said, and at least in one, I don't have to die and I don't have to murder, right? Granted, all respect to the service people that are in it because they're actually trying to protect their home country, but as we have all found out, a lot of times we're just protecting assets and property and expanding our empire. So she was basically saying like, I want to sell my body, and I was like, oh yeah, that actually is valid. Why don't we have
That
freedom to
is.
sell our bodies? Now, knowing that, I'm like, I still wouldn't personally do it. I can't get over the internalized shame or the whatever, like, maybe the Islam part of it. I don't really know, but for me, it's a hell no. But knowing now that information that it's like 70-year-olds, and like I probably would only have to like send a picture of my face smiling and saying good morning pops, how you doing, like I would gladly do that for a quick $200 $300 per, like, how you doing, yeah, yes,
Literally. That's
yes,
all they
I will
need.
check on
Yep.
your granddaddy all day long, I don't care, like,
Yeah.
stop shaming me. Okay, so whenever you decide if you're
I'm not deciding. I'm not deciding.
I,
We're just talking about like what is the not the craziest, but like what is the thing that you would just like allow yourself if like you didn't have all of this that you're like, battling, which is like shame or right or wrongs or whatnot. I think I would feel that, yeah, that's it. I don't think there is anything else that I can't do if I do this, which would be like sex work, because on the ground as a business making money, like economically and statistically, it's making like really good return compared to like what you need to like the investment in it. It's a high return industry. Um,
And
but
you
it,
feel very like all of your marginalizations that have fucked you in the past, like that you've had to hide in different countries and different places, now become a niche, and like you can become a specialty because of supply and
oh
demand.
my
So that's
God,
like this very gay man, like you could like completely monopolize the
yeah,
market for
yeah.
that.
And between videos, I can throw in some finance tips.
Yes, yes, I totally see it for you. I know we're just imagining, but I'm an artist, so I like saying, "Oh, let's imagine and then make it real." Or if you
Yeah.
want to ever make it real, I will definitely be your branding expert.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't want to do it. If I would do it, I would do it like maybe solo, just like an OnlyFans. Like that is like it's the only way that I could see myself doing it. It's really hard for me. Well, first, not just hard, like I'm in a different phase of my life. Like I don't want to be touched and whatnot. That's one thing. But the
Yeah.
other side of it too is if you hear a lot, like I've seen videos and documentaries that are interviewing like sex workers, especially in the past, maybe this is changing now, but the amount of like it's exhausting to do that one film that they do. Like they would be like filming for like 8 9 hours, and it's not like, I mean, obviously actors do the same thing, but this one is like literally physical, where like you have to be performing You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Without going too much details, you get the point.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just a lot. Like you're exhausted and you're faking it obviously most of the time because like you're not even enjoying it. It's just part of the movie or whatever that you're filming. It's just like it's an exhausting industry, and that's why not everyone can do it, and that's why the demand is high, supply is low, and that's why you get paid a lot. So all in all, I think there's going to be a shift in that, but like breaking the shame, if I ever have an OnlyFans, I think I would like, okay, I think it's it. I think I have nothing else to fear in life. I'm not having an OnlyFans, just to be clear.
For now, yeah, for
We're
now.
just talking about it.
We can
Um,
definitely take I don't know if OnlyFans counts as sex work, but if it does, then like that's probably the category we'll stay in, forevermore. If but you can also start like real like hands or beard. I'm sure there's people. What I don't know why I'm
or
trying to push you
feet,
into this.
or
Like I'm
armpits, or whatever. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that I agree with you. I think the only reason there's not more people doing it is the shame.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like somebody's like, oh, and some people I want a picture of your socks. I'm like, sure, I'll send you a picture of my socks for 20 bucks, for 50 bucks, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Hmm.
just, I'm just talking as a business, there's good money there. Why does not everyone do it? Like, we all see, I mean, I know we all have talked about it, and a lot of people are listening, they all joke when, like, they have a really hard day. It's like, I'm just gonna start my OnlyFans. I'm just gonna start selling, like, feet pics or whatever. But,
Or the
like, when it
underwear.
comes, yes, but then when it comes to real life, all of us shy away from it because of like the shame and all of that. So I just thought I think this is would be like the ultimate
But you know
of
what?
like
Something too that I thought about is that like I would absolutely also do something like a feet finder situation because I'm like, oh, that just feels like the halal version of all this, right? Like as I cherry pick my values, but it's actually work. Like it's not like people think like, oh, if I was pretty or if I was a girl, that's what I would do. No, it's not fucking easy. Like you would still have to market yourself. You would still have to do daily pictures. You would still have to promote yourself. You would still have to act like customer motherfucking service. Like you'd still it's still a job. Like it's still
mm-hmm,
but maybe this is on your own terms, more enjoyable for you, and you could get super creative and not report to anybody but your goddamn self.
mm-hmm,
But still, it's not like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna open an OnlyFans and then I become rich. Like you also might fail at
yeah.
OnlyFans. So I just want everybody to get off their high horses.
I mean, it's the same thing with social media. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, social media is so easy, like that 1 minute video." And like I heard like people who create content, they're like that 1 minute video takes me about 7 hours of work between writing scripts, filming, editing, post editing and posting. It's like a whole day shift, and every day they have to provide one video to keep their followers and etc. etc. So yes, for them to make the money that they're making, it's still a full-time job. It's not like people think like, "Oh, they're just sitting at home dancing." I'm like, yes, that's entertainment. Um, but anyway, I just thought that
No,
was interesting.
I
The
agree.
other, you know what? Actually, thinking of entertainment, different topic. I just saw a video of, I know I mentioned her before, Reem Nadar. She's a Middle Eastern social media person that I follow, and I love her. She's in Dubai, sorry, in Kuwait, and she posted like a video, like a story where like she's just like chit-chatting, like speaking out loud. And one of the things that she was like talking about is like thinking of social media, and we all do it. What is the purpose of social media? Because you hear a lot of people would go on someone's video. Let's say someone posts a video of like them dancing or just being silly or whatever, and then they would go in and they would just like comment saying like I'm done social media for the day, or this is just stupid, or this is, and what is the education of this, or da da da. But who says that social media is for education? That's not the purpose of social media. I mean,
Hmm.
social media, people can use it for whatever they want. And I know I was one of the people at first when you start seeing people like dancing, and especially when TikTok started, I was like, that person's stupid. That person, like, you were like, we were like judging it because we're like not used to it. But at the end of the day, social media is not any different than when you see different types of shows on TV. Some people want game shows, some people want politics. Like, if you want education, so like you make it what you want to make it, And who says that social media has to be a certain way? Like it could be whatever. So I just loved like seeing that perspective because usually we tend to like judge it where like even myself, like when you're creating a channel, like is it educational, is it giving that specific content, is my audience that and like only that, or can it be other? And it could be like it could be a mix of everything. And
And
then
it's basically a photo album. Like you don't
yeah.
have to ask permission for what you take pictures of and make memories of. It's your fucking photo album. And sometimes, like most people, I think don't do it for the audience, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's their portfolio. And
Mm-hmm.
then influencers do it for the audience or whatever, but they still do stuff they like. Like it's just a
Yeah,
collection of their memories.
exactly. Same thing with our podcast. I mean, it's like we said offline one time, it feels like it's like a capsule in time of like our life journey right now where we're at, and I would love it. Like I could already imagine 20 years from now me going back and like watching one of our episodes. I was like, wow, that's what we used to think about, and like this is where we're at, and like we were doing what? Like this is the apartment that Emma was living in, and I had this background. Like and it's like if somebody is like learning something is great, somebody is getting entertained, that's great. I listen to a lot of podcasts just for entertainment, and some of them is for education, some of them is just for the heck of it, just for fun. So
You know what
yeah.
it is? People get angry that other people have the audacity to dream or have the audacity to be themselves or have the audacity to be like free and goofy and not judge themselves with the same level of hatred that others do, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
like I saw it all the time when I first said I'm going to be an actor, right? And people were like, it's almost that secret waiting for you to fail thing where strangers are more supportive of your rise than like
Mm-hmm.
people in your area. And it's the same thing. Oh, she wants to be an influencer. He wants to be an influencer. And like it's really
Haha.
yeah,
Yeah.
haha, until they're fucking an influencer and they made it. Influencer is nothing more than just a different level of like celebrity at this point. And literally, even the
Mm-hmm.
SAG AFTRA, like our actors union, has created contracts for influencers now. It's official.
Mm-hmm.
So stop your fucking hating on people who dare to dream and just let people live. It goes back to
Yeah.
all of our, the basis of all of our shit. Let people live. Like let them have
Yeah.
fun. Let them
Yeah.
try. Let them fail.
It reminds me of that one time when you told me to, um, when a lot of people used to tell you when you were like pursuing acting or you got a role, they would be like, "Don't forget about us when you make it."
Yeah.
It's like, are you really supporting me and you're like happy about me, or you just want me around in case you make it? But I'm gonna judge you now that you didn't have that 9 to 5, and then you're dreaming of going to be an actress. But if you become an actress, then like, hey, we're best friends. Remember? Can you take me with you to the red carpet?
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like the people in and I had a very supportive circle. So like if you've been supportive, you know, and if you haven't been supportive and you feel some kind of way about this and I don't know how to help you, but like it's those people who won't comment on all of your posts and push and share and like try to help you also become that person. Like I see it a lot where the community isn't going to get behind someone, but they'll sure as fuck like be there in the end and be like, "Oh yeah,
When
yeah,
you're
yeah."
there. Hmm.
Yeah, when you're there. And like we see this with a lot of celebrities. We see this with a lot of people. And so it's always harder, which is unfortunate, to get support from like everybody in your town, let's say, right? Your friends are going to be supportive. Your people are your people, but
Yep,
a lot of people
exactly.
are waiting for you to fail. And it's actually really sad instead of them just going after their dreams or whatever.
Yep,
Um, which makes it feel like that much better to win.
100%. Um, I just thought about something talking about like all the sex work and whatnot. Um, did you know of this new button? So if you're like in a group chat and Instagram, there's a new button called Blend that you can use. Do you know what that is? Okay, so if you are in a conversation chat, let's say you, your sister, your cousin, and your friend, right? And if you click on Blend on that button, it actually starts suggesting videos for the group based on each of yours algorithm, and then it says this video based on ML's algorithm. Can you
Oh
can you imagine how messy would that be
no!
if you're
Oh,
in the group?
I know
Yep.
immediately all girls are gonna be like, me and my boyfriend are gonna do this algorithm blend situation, and I'm gonna have eyes on what you're having eyes on, or is that just me and I'm projecting and I'm a psycho? Oh no!
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that.
Um, I pulled it up because like I just wanted to see the whole rule. So what it says when you join group blend, see each other's suggestion reels, new reels based on the chat, and you just need to do invite only. So see who each reel is suggested for based on each person's activity on Instagram, including the reels they watch and interact with.
Oh my God!
And
All Palestinians and pro-Palestine people need to join as many group chats with people that know that aren't involved. Like join all the fucking chats. Make all the
blend,
fucking
blend, blend, blend.
blend, 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 blend. Yalla for Palestine, blend. I love this. Sorry, keep
Uh,
going, keep going. What is
yeah,
it?
yeah. No, the other one they're saying like when you join a blend, reels you send to the chat will inform and update the blend for everyone. So you're like, I'm in the blend. It's like a little button. Like if you see it up there,
Yeah,
um, you just go to any of your groups and you can see up on the
I
right a blend. And everybody probably have seen it. It's just like they haven't noticed it, but I just thought it was brilliant. And I was like, oh my God, can you imagine how messy? And speaking of sex work, like if you have like a guy or a girl, like they like certain pictures of like men or women, and like they start
yeah,
getting like now, like you and your husband, let's say in it, and then you both, I mean, I don't know, each couple is different, but let's say you're not allowed to like any girl's picture.
yeah. That literally happened for someone I know, and like had to end it with the dude because she was like, the one rule, I don't want to see you liking all down these girls' photos. Like that's my boundary. And oh boy kept crossing the boundary, and I was like, well, you really left him just for that? And she was like, it's a boundary. And if he cannot control himself from just hitting double tap, like he could look all day long, but to interact with it so that then I see it is crazy behavior because that means he's gonna cross every other boundary. This
Mm.
blend thing is gonna take that to a whole new level. Like I cannot wait for the memes that come out about blend.
I wonder if actually it will go away or people would like I mean people are messy or like people would want to do it.
Yeah, like didn't they have to take away the feature of like see who liked like I don't know what app it was, but it was like you could tell the history of what somebody has done on social. So it'll be like I could just go to your page and then see that you've liked these photos for the day.
Oh yes, that's back in
Yeah,
the day. I remember that
yeah.
was
And then,
something,
you know,
yeah.
a lot of people, I guess, were like, fuck that feature. And so they took it away.
Yeah, because people were not interacting on Instagram. It's like I don't want people to see what I'm liking that day. And then Instagram or whoever those apps are like that's what they function off. It's like you need to like so the algo keeps suggesting you something else. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just because of all the relationship fights. I never thought
I
about
mean,
it.
I'm sure it's probably a part of it, but that's why people stopped liking. And if you, I'm thinking
Yeah,
as corporate, that's what I would want to do. I was like, yeah, that's not working for me. Like, I want them to like, so give them that privacy so that we can get more interaction. But blend, I think it'll be
blend.
fun to see what it's about.
Yeah, thanks for
Um,
sharing that. That's pretty cool.
yeah. Do we want to go to my question?
Yeah, sure. You should go
Okay.
for it.
It's a little bit serious, but it's kind of fun too. So, my question is, would you rather be with someone who has zero ambition or someone who's very successful but emotionally unavailable?
Zero ambition is a super turn off. Like like I dated this one dude for like 2 months, and I remember I just couldn't wrap my head around the fact that like he would just go to work and then come back, and like he had no dreams for where the career would go, and there was no side hustle. And I was like, this is not computing. Like he was complacent. I was listening to an Adele song today actually, and she was like, I think the lyrics were something like complacency is so whatever. Do you know the lyric? I forgot. I was just listening today. Like,
I know that song. I think I've sent it to you too in the past one time.
yes, I think it was you that sent it to me. It's like without me or something, and she's
Yep.
basically like, it's so ugly to be complacent. Like how like
Yep.
what are you doing? And so maybe that's why I'm in this energy, but I definitely would prefer emotionally unavailable because I tend to overfunction anyway, and I'm like I will try to get to the heart of why they don't have emotion availability, and I will try
But
to
you're
get.
not gonna be able to fix it.
No, I think emotional unavailability could be fixed. I used to be emotionally
No, no, no,
unavailable.
no. This is the rule.
La, la, la,
You
la,
can
la.
only be with someone who is either emotionally unavailable for the rest of your relationship or just forever. You can't even exit the relationship. This is a choice. Either no emotional availability or no ambition.
Fine. I still choose no emotion. I will get a cat. I will get a dog. I will get some friends that make me feel seen and loved and that I could pour into. And then I will also make him buy me like vacation homes, and we will have a nice little long distance relationship. We can make it work, but I would much rather, assuming he's successful and rich, I'm sorry, I would much rather have successful and emotionally unavailable as opposed to no ambition. And we didn't say whether or not that dude is also emotionally unavailable.
No, he will be emotionally available.
Because I
Yes.
have dated no ambition,
Yes.
emotionally
Yes.
available people, and I tell
Yes.
you that shit was a headache.
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a
this
very
is
big headache.
obviously just like a no-no.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I go success all the way because I think there was a meme that was like, I forgot who it was. Oh, it wasn't a meme. It was a video, and they asked that in the so. Did you get it from that one? And then this older lady was like giving advice to younger lady, and she was like, "You'd like take it from me. I'd rather be crying in like a
A
Rolls Royce,
Mercedes.
yeah, Mercedes,
Yeah,
than a
yeah.
Honda." So yeah, I'm with that. I'd rather cry in my private jet or whatever the case may be, like, then I would rather be crying in a Honda. Sorry.
Mm,
What about
I
you?
think I'm a hopeless romantic. I think I will take romance over ambition. Because I think I have the ambition. Like I can make the money. Like for me, like just personally,
Mm,
I know I am that person, so that is not something that I need in my life. Like if it is attractive, if like the person that I'm with, that was like my biggest thing is like I couldn't date someone who is a stay-home man or woman, it doesn't matter. It's so for me, I like that side of like someone has something going on, but it
uh-huh.
didn't matter to me what is that something. Like it didn't need to be like the biggest thing. Just go to work, just something. And I want that like it's so like emotions are so important to me that I would like take that over just work. But maybe too because like I'm in a phase where like is money that important? Like I'm like questioning the whole thing, and like for me it's just like if we both are not ambitious, we just like work at a bar at some beach and live like that for the rest of my life. Like it'll be great. Like I'll be a bartender in Hawaii and just go serve people some drinks
Malta. No,
and
I see
just
that for you.
sit.
I see that for you, and I also see. I think it's interesting that I am a woman, and I do fit the like traditional, like I would love to stay at home and have the dude pay the freaking bills and blah blah blah. So hands down, my answer was different than yours, but yeah, I would want my guy to be the person to also say like, no, I just need her to take like care of my heart because I'm gonna take care of the bills, right?
Mm,
So I think
yeah,
it's like that. I want to find a dude who answers your way. No, just love me, and I'll get take care of the money.
yeah. I mean, just being like emotionally available, not just like love me, but for me, like just I guess for me, it's more like EI as well. So I think that's important for me. Like I just can't be with someone who just like can't process things the way like we process it.
I think people who are able to actually love you are able to love themselves, and I
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, people who don't love themselves actually don't really know how to love others.
Mm.
So, like, but I also am not saying that everybody who loves somebody and gets loved back has a high EQ, but I feel like you kind of have to raise your EQ to love someone the right way because you have to be paying
Mm-hmm.
attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Yep. No, I agree. I agree. But there's some people that I feel that might be a little naive, where like they don't love each other and they just keep pouring what they're not getting in the wrong relationship, and that means that you don't love yourself enough, that you just keep hoping that that person will love you because you just keep It's like the clingy girlfriend or whatever they call it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
or like self-abandonment. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that's my thing that I work on is like not abandoning myself to
yeah.
like fit the mold.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of you wanting to be a stay-home wife person, whatever, at some point, I I recall that video that I sent you about that guy that was who was being interviewed, and there were she's an extreme feminist, and she was asking him like, what do you think about the stay home and like who needs to pay the bill and dates and whatnot? And I love what he said. Do you remember that? What
Yeah.
he said about it's not because of religion or because of you're the man, you should do it or whatnot. It's because the reality is in the lifetime that we're living in, women has to deal with much worse in life that this is the least that you can do is for pay, when you take her out on dates or just pay the bills or pay whatever you can afford to pay, obviously. But I like that it's based on women has to deal with so much. And research has shown that even in marriage, men are the ones that are mostly happy being married. Women are happier when they're either widowed or single.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, even through marriage, men is the one who's benefiting most out of men is the benefiting the most out of any relationship. One, a lot of them are babied. She does my laundry. I'm their mama. Blah blah blah. And even in a sexual relationship, like even if you're in a relationship, and even when you're having sex with that person, there's really not much risk going on the man's side. On the woman, she's got to deal with so much, either taking options to not get pregnant or be careful. Even if you get pregnant, she is the one who's gonna have to carry the baby. Like the whole universe is not created for the woman; it's more created for the side of man. So the least you can do is just pay when you go out on dates.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Even when you're talking about like who takes the brunt of the problem, I hate that my brain went here first, but like if the condom breaks and you have an uh-oh, the girl has to go freaking get a plan B, and that fucks up her cycle for like a full fucking month. And it's like
Yep.
it's crazy the amount of shit. So just pay for the fucking dinner and stop complaining about it.
Yep.
Honestly.
Yep, yep. I mean, it will fuck her up psychologically, physically, your hormones, like everything. So, and then he doesn't have to deal with it. He just has to deal with like, oh, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. 100%. Oh, so what you gonna do? Leave
What do
you?
you mean? What I'm gonna do? But yeah, I really like that approach because most of the time we take it as like, "Oh, just be a gentleman, or because the religion says so. And I like that it's more really coming from you as a person, your character understands the world that we're living in and how it's so much harder for women that you feel um the want to contribute a bit more and show that person that I appreciate you. This is a safe space for you. Like I'm here to be there with you. Like I even saw research saying like one for the same exact job, like women are getting paid less, but it costs that woman like three times more to show up to that same job that man is getting paid more for. She has to have different outfits every time. She has to wear makeup. She has to do her hair. Like there's a lot of those do's and don'ts, like what you should look like to be in corporate, just showing up as a woman. That costs so much more than a man. You wake up shaved, put that same dress shirt, same exact white one, just change the tie and go on with your life. And that's it. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I was looking. You had me thinking about this. Also, my I want to share my screen to show you this. It's like a chart about the real reason for the gender wage gap from Vox. Or I hope I don't share anything embarrassing. Uh,
We'll crop it.
yeah, we'll crop it. Okay, so it said. Um, oh, here we go. Yeah, women's earnings drop women's earnings drop significantly after having a child. Men's don't. And you see what
Mm,
happens. We're at the same place. Even when you're at the same place, this is what happens after you have a freaking child.
mm.
So, hands down, like women definitely need a lot more support financially
Wow.
and look, now this is the career trajectory. Women with kids, women without kids. So right now, I have a chance of rising right like this if I don't have a child. But if I decide to have a child, I know this is a grim outlook statistically.
Mm-hmm.
What choices I have after that. And that fucking sucks, honestly.
And I think I heard too, even for men, when you get married, like, yeah, this is exactly it. Like, for men, when you get married, some people, I mean, maybe the older generation, not the new one, but like the statistic based on the older history.
And I hit stop recording my answer. Okay, men statistically.
No, I'm saying, like, even seeing that statistically, men, when they get married, tend to have more promotions because as a society, they feel the need that, oh, haram, he's gonna have a family now and get kids, so he needs that promotion, he needs the extra money. But if a woman gets married, uh-oh, she's gonna be pregnant, she's gonna be out for 3 months, she's gonna go have to take care of the kid. So one of my favorite videos that I saw on Instagram is this girl is like, "What is your like like on the low feminist thing that you do on your day-to-day basis? Like leave it in the comments." And people were like leaving in the comments what they do. And like one of them she said, "As a teacher, every time I have a problem with a kid, I call the dad first and not the mom, just to start breaking that norm of society where like usually like teachers or like people just if there's a problem with a kid, they usually call the mom as if like she's the only solution." She's like, "I just like slightly start calling the dad first."
I saw
Another
that too.
one,
There was another one that they said I take my kid to all women doctors.
yes,
I only watch the WNBA around them or something like that.
yeah, yeah. I like the doctor one because like, and my kid now grew up just assumed all those like lawyer, doctor, like all those jobs are actually women jobs. Because as society, when you hear a doctor, you just assume it's a man job. Um, but anyway, yep. I think we can wrap it here. I think we're on time.
Oh yeah, it's been an hour. Damn, that
Yep,
flew by. Okay, cool. Um,
yep.
let me hit. Well, okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, please consider leaving a comment and a review. It helps us improve and reach more people.
We're all just trying to figure it out one conversation at a time. So go easy on yourself, trust the process, and remember, it's okay, Habibi.